Hello, this is Matt Hester with Dimensional Nomad Games, and this is June 17th, 2017, and this is the State of Magic for the month of June. Now, there have been a lot of announcements so far this month, um, a lot of them. So I'm going to go ahead and briefly go over some of them. Some of the other ones, such as the actual spoilers that have been released, I'm going to go ahead and cover next week. But this week, I'm going to go ahead and just go over some of the bigger announcements that have been made over the course of this month and partway into last month. So first off, we had the release of Arch Enemy Nicobolus. Now, Nicobolus has always been a big bad guy, even back when he was just an Elder Dragon Legend. Arguably, he was one of the best of the Elder Dragon Legends. He deals combat damage to an opponent. He just deals damage to an opponent, and they discard his hand. So that was extremely powerful. Then he got turned into a Planeswalker, and he had lots of power then. So now they've given him his own Arch Enemy deck. Now, realistically, as a sealed product, if you're just playing it with the 4 decks that come with it, so the Nicobolus deck and the 3 Planeswalker decks, it's not a bad product. In comparison to the previous Arch Enemy, though, I have a feeling it's a little bit underplayed. The schemes just aren't as powerful or as diverse as they were in the previous series. They're definitely more in tune to what you get with the decks themselves, but as far as individual power, it's not as powerful as the original schemes. Still a fun product. I enjoy playing it. It'll be interesting to see how it balances when we actually play with other decks. I don't think it's going to scale as well as the previous schemes, but it's still fun within itself. We had the big announcements with Metamorphosis 2.0. There's a fantastic article on the Magic website. I definitely suggest taking a look at it. But just the 3 main things that I want to cover are they're getting rid of the small sets. So you know how sometimes with a block you'd have the main core set, and then you get a couple of smaller sets. Well, they're doing away with the smaller sets, which means we're going to see bigger core sets for those, each of those blocks, and we're going to get a lot more of the story just within those series by themselves. I think that's a fantastic move. I never have liked the smaller sets. It's really annoying to get one with just a little few pieces, especially when they end up with just kind of reprints. I mean, if you look back to Zendikar and Oath of the Gatewatch and stuff like that, they reprinted the same lands. The same lands, those gates. It was terrible. So getting rid of the small sets is fantastic. Speaking of core sets, we're seeing the return of the core set. So next year, in 2018, we're going to get M19, which is fantastic. According to the article, they're going to be 50% new cards and 50% reprints. And I'm really looking forward to seeing what they do with the core set. I'm hoping they get away from the Gatewatch, so we don't see another set of Jace, Chandra, Liliana, Gideon, especially Gideon. He's way overplayed. And Nissa. We need to get some new Planeswalkers. And that's something else that they announced in there, is that the Gatewatch are going to have less of an influence in the storyline. I'm hoping that means we're going to get to see new Planeswalkers, see the return of some old ones. We haven't seen a Garruk in quite a while. We haven't seen a Najani in a while. So I'd like to see more diversity in the Planeswalkers. The other big piece is they're going to have less of the masterpieces. They tried it out. They had the expeditions, which were fantastic. Then we had the masterpieces in Kaladesh, and those are gorgeous. But they've kind of gotten overplayed. I mean, with the expeditions, everyone was like, "Oh yeah, expeditions!" But then they overprinted the Zendikar, the Return to Zendikar, Battle for Zendikar block, and so the expeditions haven't really held their value that they could have if they'd been a lot smaller print run. And then they went with Kaladesh, same problem. The masterpiece inventions are fantastic. They're gorgeous. I really enjoyed them. But again, overprinted, oversaturation, they don't really feel as special. I mean, yeah, that's nice for making it so it's not as expensive to buy them, but it also made it not as not as fun to open one. Yeah, you got one, but it didn't feel as special. So, I mean, you get ups and downs in that. And then, of course, we get into the Amonkhet ones with the invocations, and I mostly I think it's just personal preference. I didn't like the font. I didn't like the choices for the cards they made. But you should be seeing that less. It should be something more of a rarity. So I'm not sure how often they're going to put them in blocks. They haven't really mentioned that yet. Just that they're going to be doing it less often. You're not going to see it per block like we have with this last set. All right, so that was Metamorphosis 2.0. The other big article was the 25th anniversary one. Take a look at that article, but in the meantime, here's a good summary. So they announced Ixalan, which is apparently going to be primarily pirates and dinosaurs. I mean, that's pretty cool. I'm super excited for that. Ixalan comes out September 29th of this year, and then the second set of Ixalan, which I believe is Rivals of Ixalan. I'd have to take a look again. And that comes out January 19th of 2018. So those are pretty excited. They've already started spoiling. You may have noticed that somebody put an entire foil sheet out there on leaks. So you can take a look at that. And next week when we talk about spoilers and specific spoilers, we'll go ahead and talk about some of the pirates and the dinosaurs and the other things that we've seen leaked. We'll also talk about the Hour of Devastation leak. Spoilers, not leaks. Spoilers that they've released. They've released the 2 Planeswalker decks, which is, of course, a powered down Nicobolus and a new Nissa. So we'll take a look at that next week when we look at all the spoilers that are coming up for Hour of Devastation, and then all the other spoilers for the Ixalan leaks and anything else. Alright, so in the 25th anniversary article, they also talked about the new dual decks. Merfolks versus Goblins. That's coming out on November 10th of this year. So November 10th, 2017, we're going to see Merfolks versus Goblins. I'm really curious to see how this works. I've always enjoyed both of those tribes. Merfolk and Goblins are both very fun. They've already done Goblins because they did Elves versus Goblins, so it'll be interesting to see what direction they take. Are they going to go with mono red Goblins, or are they going to go red black Goblins? I believe they've also had red, white, and black Goblins with the Speed versus Cunning, or whichever the one that had Zergo smashing. They had a bunch of Goblins in there. Alright, the other thing they've announced is the next From the Vault, which is From the Vault Transform, which is coming out on November 24th, 2017. How many Transform cards are there that are worth reprinting in a premium set? I'm not too excited about it. I don't see it being one that gets over its MSRP either. So we'll see how that goes. Alright. One of the other big announcements are that we're returning to Dominaria. So the set after Ixalan is going to be a Dominaria set. And that's coming out April 27th of 2018. So that's huge. We haven't been to Dominaria in forever. So I'm really looking forward to seeing what has changed. Kind of like the Return to Ravnica, how do the guilds change and that. So that'll be interesting. I really need to get another light source because I've just got the one here, so I need one over there because my shadows are just really weird. Anyway, and if you're just listening in on this, you can't see the shadows, so that might sound as a weird comment to you. Alright, so going back to the 25th anniversary, they're introducing the Anniversary Master set, which is going to come out on March 16th, 2018. It's going to have cards from all 25 years of Magic, which is kind of odd because we have Iconic Masters coming out later this year. So you're going to have Iconic Masters and then 25th Anniversary Master set. So, 2 Master sets within 6 months. I'm not sure how that's going to hit the market, or, what's going to be an Iconic Masters. They haven't done any spoiling for that yet. I mean, we can think of cards that are going to be iconic, Shivan Dragon, Sarah Angel, things like that. Those are iconic Magic cards, very well-known Magic cards. I'm hoping it's a lot more than that. I'm not sure what they're going to have in Iconic Masters, but because they haven't started spoiling it at all. But, there's other things that we can do. Anyway, so, like we mentioned earlier from Metamorphosis 2.0, the core sets are coming back. The date for the next core set is July 20th, 2018. Once again, that's going to be a half reprint, half brand new card. So that'll be exciting. The other thing that's coming out later this year is the last unset. So you had unglued, unhinged, the both silvers. Next, we're going to see unstable, and that's coming out at the end of the year, December 8th, 2017. I am super pumped for that for a number of reasons. One, unsets are just fun. They're a lot of fun to draft and just play around with. The cards are goofy. It's nice to see the whimsical side of Magic as well. The other nice thing is hopefully we'll get the lands. The full art lands, unhinged and unglued, both had the full art lands. That's how, in my opinion, that's how they entice people to actually buy the set. Because realistically, there's nothing in there for players other than entertainment value. There's nothing to entice someone who's only in there for the competitive scene. But if they keep the theme of the full art lands, then it's definitely going to have at least a value. The other nice thing is getting the third unset means for those rare people who actually build one, you'll have enough cards to build an uncube, and that'll just be hilarious. I hope somebody out here in the Pocatello area puts together an uncube. Last I checked online, you can actually get the unglued and unhinged sets pretty cheap. Unglued for full sets like 150. I think the unhinged one's more expensive because if you're getting the entire set, including the full art basics, those are expensive. So I think it's like $199 or $299. I'd have to go look again, but that's another possibility. So it's not that bad to get full sets of the unsets. So if you're looking to start building that, knowing that the third set is finally coming out, something to keep in mind. Okay, and that was pretty much all the big news from the 25th anniversary. Now, the other thing, big news that they've talked about is the next Commander set that's coming out later this year, and that's so the Commander 2017. The focus is tribal. So with 2016, we saw the 4-color commanders, Atraxa, Brea, the partners. So and what was nice is they actually had pretty decent land bases with those. Now for Commander 2017, they've announced a tribal theme. So instead of 5 decks, there's only going to be 4. They're going to be some kind of a tribal. Now they have spoiled some cards, or they've been spoiled. I don't know. I don't remember if Wizards was the actual spoiler or if it's just someone who got information. And the first tribe is definitely dragons. There's a new Dragon, 5-color dragon. There's a second 5-color cat dragon, which is a little bit interesting. And then the other card is a 2-color monk that supports the dragons. And we can go over those spoilers next week when we talk about spoilers. But what's nice is, so you've got your 5-color dragon, which is definitely for as a commander. And then you've got a 5-color cat dragon. So as a hybrid, you can use it as a dragon commander or a cat commander. And it's not really geared one way or the other. It's kind of one that empowers itself, if I remember correctly from the spoilers. So you can use the cat side and get a 5-color cat commander. I'm hoping that with the other 3 decks that we're going to see 5-color tribes, and that they include, one definitely geared towards that tribe, and then one that's a hybrid, and then some 2-color, 3-color just support that can support the given tribe, but also can become commanders of their own towards a different mechanic. I really like what they've done with a lot of the commander sets. So it's nice to see them continuing to expand, continuing to grow. Commander is my favorite format. It's the one that I think it's actually the only format I play. And my channel is specifically about Commander, so you'll hear me talk about Commander a lot. But, so we know that the first tribe is going to be dragons. Given that Wizards of the Coast is a company and they like to make money, most likely the second set is going to be angels, because people like angels, people buy angels, and we really need a 5-color angel so that you can do angel tribal and actually run Maelstrom Archangel. Maelstrom Archangel's 5/5 when it deals combat damage to a player, you get to cast something for free from your hand. And it's
5-color, it's not legendary. So you can't use it as a commander. So you have to run something off, like Horde of Notions or Corona of the False God or something like that. And it's not... I mean, Corona of the False God you could use as technically a tribal commander, but it's not as nice as having something that was actually geared towards angels themselves. So that'll be nice. Alright, so that's pretty much everything that's been going on in terms of Magic. No new big pieces of news that we need to take a look at. So next week we'll go ahead and do the spoilers. We'll talk about the cards coming out for the new Hour of Devastation, which is the next one coming out next month. Grand Prix Vegas, they just had a bunch of spoilers. If you go to MTG Salvation, you can see all of the spoilers. I believe it's 39 cards from the set so far as of today, and then of course the 2 Planeswalkers from the Planeswalker decks, the Nicol Bolas and Nissa, that don't count as part of the set. They're their own thing. The only way to get them is from the Planeswalker decks, and they're not bad. So you got 39 plus 2 spoilers, so 41 cards from the set are spoiled. Go ahead and take a look at that. And next week they'll have even more cards. So we'll go ahead and we'll go over next week all of the spoiled cards, and you know what I think their impact will be on Commander and things like that. All right. Well, thank you for tuning in. This is Matt Hester with Dimensional Nomad Games, and have a great day.